All right, we're live here again for another episode of Data Mastery Marketing with Modern Growth. Appreciate you guys joining us. My name is Jason Reno. My partner Alvin Reyes is here, and have a really exciting topic to go over with you guys. And mind you, we try to keep these episodes at 20 minutes, so that's going to be tough. And just to see some future episodes, this is a general, like the capabilities of voice AI and what's coming down the pipeline. And then we'll do some more specific, like voice AI specific for B2B lead gen and things like that in another episode, either later this week or next week. But we really just wanted to kind of take a 35,000 foot view. If anybody isn't incorporating voice AI as and interested to its capabilities, try to kind of just open your eyes and give you a taste of what's out there. And then we can get more specific in some future episodes because it's pretty amazing. I mean, Alvin, you just spent 3 days at a seminar that was predominantly focused on voice AI and its capabilities. I've been working on prompts, building out our own voice AI, and it's pretty freaking insane, for lack of a better term, right?
Yeah, usually it's really the tonality. It doesn't sound like a robot; it sounds like a real human. That's usually the deal breaker for voice AI. Like the stuff I've heard in the past, it's gotten way better.
Yeah, this isn't like calling in to pay your cell phone bill, and it's like, oh, press 1, and it's just like this robotic. Like you can literally, I mean, the one that we're using, I mean, you can literally pick 30 different avatars, so male, female, Spanish accent, French accent, British accent. You know, if you want an older female, a younger female, old guy, young guy, like it's crazy, and yeah, it sounds. I mean, I bet you. Because the bot identifies itself as an AI bot, but if I'm 99% sure it would fool a lot of people if it didn't identify as an AI bot. It's the tonality, like the pitch of the voice changes. Even just what's amazing me as I'm building out the prompts for ours is, like, it will pick up on stuff that we didn't necessarily tell it exactly what to say. Like, you'll take a question and we named ours Emma, but it's like, and then Emma would be like, oh, wow, that's a great question, Jason. Let me, and then kind of elaborate. And it's a very conversational type of voice AI. It's not just some, I don't know, to me, like when we first started looking into this, it was like, oh, it's going to sound like a robot, act like a robot, and talk like a robot. But it's the complete opposite. It's pretty remarkable.
Yep.
What do you think are some of the use cases, right? Because it's not just incoming phone calls, but it's outgoing phone calls. It's having a voice AI widget on your website. So instead of somebody having to read your whole website and then call in, they can literally press a button on your website and just conversate with, in our case, with Emma, and ask questions and learn more about our business and have a conversation with this bot. And then the bot books an appointment, right? Like, you want to elaborate a little more into that?
Yeah, so there's some basic use cases or core cases where you could treat it where you could book appointments. You could also do live transfers if you want to, and it could also send out a text message as well. Another cool thing where one of the attendees goes like, hey, I want to put a passcode on my AI bot so only my true friends could get access to me on a live transfer. So they have to go through my AI bot, say the code before they could reach me. So that's just a little funny use case right there.
That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, you touched on the live transfer. So it's somebody who, so for example, a business has a receptionist, or you want to run ads, for example, right? And you're like, oh, well, I got to go to a landing page, I got to read the landing page, or I got to listen to this VSL or this video sales letter, and hopefully your VSL addresses the concerns of the client. Well, now you don't have to make any assumptions, right? You grab their attention, they can literally click to call off an ad, or you drive them to a landing page, and you can have a very, very short, concise VSL that you touch on, like the high points of what your business does. And then it's just like, hey, click the bot below and ask as many questions as you like. So now you can start addressing the actual concerns of the client or your potential client versus just trying to make this assumption that you know what they want. Let it conversate with the bot. Then if they are interested, then they can book the appointment.
Yeah, there's actually I was sitting next to a podiatrist doctor, a foot doctor at the conference, and then I go, "What are you here for?" It was I found he said he was a doctor, and then he says that he found out that his office, they missed about 1,000 phone calls a month times 12, which is 12,000 calls a year. And then he says that each call could have been worth $1,000 for a client lifetime value of a patient. So if you calculate that, that would have been $120,000 in revenue of lost opportunity. So that's the reason why he's there, to stop that and get his office up to speed with the whole voice AI to take over the receptionist's job.
That's a great point, because these bots don't need coffee breaks, they don't need bathroom breaks, they don't need anything, right? It's 24/7. You could be sleeping and somebody could call your business, ask questions, get the answers that they're looking for, and book an appointment. So then you wake up the next morning with an interested client that has an appointment at 8, 9, 10 o'clock the next day at their leisure, ready to connect and engage with your business.
Yeah, there's another one. Another guy the use case was he wanted to target fundraising for capital. So he would have like a list of phone numbers that they want to call, and then typically you'd have to hire people. So just the operation cost of running a call center, or a small call center, maybe like 5 people, just to call people for funds or capital raising. And the messaging, the consistency of the messaging is all going to be different, the tonality of it, where the AI bot could handle the volume of that and have the same messages, so the consistency of the messaging.
Yeah, and then you're, as a business owner, you can listen to the recording, so you can learn what hey, this client didn't book, and this was the objection, and you can customize all the objections. And what I thought was really cool too is the bot will actually pick up on the tonality, right?
Yes.
So if somebody gets on the phone and just F off, I don't want to talk to you anymore, click, that's a negative tonality. But if they have a conversation where it's a positive conversation, but they just don't book, you could flag that as a positive tonality, and then send a subsequent like text message saying, hey, we appreciate your time. I know you didn't book your appointment, but use this link and let's talk again soon, or just use this link to book the appointment. So it'll literally recognize the disposition almost of the person on the phone that they're calling.
And not only that too, is like the AI bot gets smarter when you get more data with seasonality, right? So you have to think of it like this, where like, let's say 6 months from now, 1 year, 2 years from now, you have all these conversations. And the whole point of this AI bot is the actual data itself is pretty much like your own IP, your intellectual property of all the conversations, objections, how it's being handled and everything. And then just taking that piece of data alone, that is really valuable.
Yeah, because it learns. It's like, hey, these five people booked a call. These 5 people didn't book a call, or didn't get to that positive result, whether it's a live transfer or a booked call. But now it's learning, like, okay, in these 5 that booked, this is what was said. This is how I said it. And then, but then if you think about that, like as a business owner, you know how long it would freaking take to train your employees to review every call and do that? Like it automatically learns and gets better. Like it trains itself without you having to invest in training or train them yourselves.
Right. There was another lady there. Her job was in staffing and employment. And then she gave like a stat of like, it takes X amount of dollars to train one person, a new employee, 3 months. And then sometimes that new employee might only last for 6 months. And the time and money, the training to repeat it over and over again is expensive, time's money, right? So if you could find a bot to do all that stuff, train it, there's a lot of cost savings to it too.
You even just think, since we're on the call, you think about how many businesses out there have like an answering service, so when it's after hours, where it's just some generic person that doesn't know anything about your business, just taking messages, where now like literally 24/7, you can have a live person picking up the phone, intelligently talking about your business, giving the clients what they're looking for. And what I like too is like with our bot, we can customize it so it can literally ask questions and handle objections based off like Jeremy Miner's NEPQ method. So it's not just random. It's like you can go in and use chat or what's the better one for copywriting, Claude, or any,
Claude,
you can use these kind of AI services to come up with objections, come up with specific rebuttals for those objections based off proven sales techniques from like the world's best sales trainers, and create a Jeremy Miner trained AI bot to address objections and rebuttals, and ask, because it's not just like, oh, let me tell you about the business. Like, we're programming our AI bot, so it's like, oh, let me know what's keeping you up at night regarding your marketing. Asking questions, probing type of questions that gets the client thinking, and starts leading them down that sales process where they're selling themselves, not just ideally by the time they get on the discovery call with me, they already know exactly what their pain points are, what's keeping them up at night, and they're excited to talk to me and explore our services to see if it's a good fit.
One last example, another use case a guy mentioned was they're buying or acquiring other businesses that had its own call centers. So imagine acquiring 5 other companies. They all have 5 call centers total. Now you have to consolidate all of them all together. Well, the AI bot would solve that too, where you've consolidated everything into an AI bot or a couple AI bots, and then they all have the same messaging and consistency and everything.
Well, I mean, we were just talking about this. I was talking to the gentleman who's doing cold calling for our business. And he's just like, Jason, like by the time I make a few calls and I got to dial whatever, I may be making 100 phone calls per day, right? So if I wanted to make 500 phone calls per day, or if I wanted our business to be doing 500 outbound calls per day, I got to hire 5 people. Let's just say we use some call center in another country, and we're paying $1,000 or $1,500 per person, which is super cheap, right? That's $6,000 per month. You can put together one AI bot that works 24/7, constantly learns and gets better for a fraction of that cost. It's insane how cost effective, or how how much more effective you can be, especially like in the B2B space, and where you can pick up the phone and call these individuals. And then you mentioned our data, but now taking that voice AI bot, partnering it with our in-market data, with our pixel data, so if you're running a business, rather than just send somebody an email that just bounced off your site, why not pick up the phone and call them? Hey, you were just on our site, you're interested. Can I answer any questions or concerns that you have? What made you click away without converting? And start asking some questions and, getting to the root of their problem that we could ideally solve.
Yep. And then you mix that with other automations, even like a database reactivation, or another one too is like putting that voice widget on your website. So it actually uses a voice over IP technology. So you just press the button. So these aren't outbound calls or inbound calls. It's actually kind of like a chat widget on your website. So one thing that we plan to do is actually split the traffic, and like instead of having a survey or form on the landing page, we're gonna have our voice AI chat widget on the landing page, and then we're gonna, hey, these are a couple, like we're gonna have bullet points, maybe 3 to 4. These are the common FAQs that people would ask us, but click on this button here and have a live chat with us, and we'll answer all your questions that you have.
Yeah. So imagine like right now, like you go to a website and it's like, oh, chat with us, and it's just this little, you got to type in the text and you got to wait for it to reply. I mean, that's so outdated now. It's insane. I mean, you literally just press a button, you have a conversation with our AI sales team or our AI salesperson, Emma.
Right.
Ask it anything you want. You get real-time live responses. And then if you're still interested, then boom, you book a call and move forward, or you request a live transfer.
Right. And it's on mobile and on desktop. So it's voice over IP.
And for even what I like too is like like what I was working on today is the inbound call. So it's not, I mean, in our case, we're going to use it as an inbound call, so we can literally run click to call ads.
Right.
But imagine if you're, let's just say let's just say you're somebody who doesn't like to take incoming calls, but you have people calling you. You're the boss, right, of the company, and you're getting all kinds of calls. Rather than hiring an assistant or an executive assistant or somebody in that manner, you just funnel everything through your voice AI bot. We customized, built off what people would be calling you for, because this is all customized. It's not just a turnkey type of system. So it's, you could literally have an AI bot as your live receptionist for a fraction of the price, where it's like, hey, if this person meets these criterias, allow them to do a live transfer. If not, have them book the appointment. If not, tell them to send me a text message or something. So you can literally, if you're one of those type of individuals, a entrepreneur, a CEO, a manager that's managing, 100 different salespeople, right? Funnel all of your sales calls or all of those questions, time-sucking questions through your AI bot, and save yourself a ton of time for a fraction of the cost that a live assistant that needs breaks, can only work certain hours, and all those other things that come along with a human being.
Yeah, and I'm just really excited to get this ball rolling.
Yeah, and like I said,
clients.
We're literally building out. We started last week. We're building out ours. We're going to have ours done in the next few days. So we'll actually, in the next coming weeks, stay tuned, because we'll do like some live demo calls where we'll show you how the widget works on the site. We can do some live calls. We'll even give out a number that people can call in, because I'll tell you right now, one of the hardest things about what we do, or from my standpoint, is simplifying and explaining what we do. So I'm like 1,000% confident that if we can build out this bot that can intelligently talk about our data solutions, the in-market data, the pixel data, the programmatic ads, the voice AI itself, I mean, we can build a bot that can talk about anything. So once we get ours dialed in, we're going to have plenty of opportunities to do some demos on the shows, some live demos. You'll be able to go to our site, interact with our bot, see exactly how it works, and then we can build it out for you. And not to make a shameless plug for our data, but the voice AI bot, AI is only as good as the data you provide. So especially in the B2B space, if we could find people actively searching for your product or service, plug it into a cold outbound dialer for them to call and follow up with, or call and reach out to, or scrape people visiting your website that have already shown interest in your product or service, and now do a call follow-up afterwards, it's going to be pretty cool and pretty efficient, and should really drive conversions at the end of the day.
Yep. And you need to get on this voice AI train as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because I mean and I know it's, because obviously if you're not doing it, I mean, just think about, like you said, the podiatrist, but home service brands, like think about like how many home service brands now have somebody calling you like, hey, the plumber's going to be there in 30 minutes. All you need is you just build out your workflow, build out the prompts, and your AI bot can call, hey, the plumber's going to be there in 30 minutes. His name's Jason. And do you have any questions before he shows up? And can literally answer the questions, that type of stuff, and eliminate. I mean, it's not, they keep saying AI is going to take jobs, and yes, it will take some certain jobs, but if you learn how to do it and embrace it, and you can be the one controlling and utilizing the AI, then you're going to have some good job security moving forward.
It's really about the time wasted, the money, it's going to be cost savings, the lost opportunities, right? There's gaps in, in a buyer's journey, right? You might have a sales team where there's just going to be gaps in there. Like this voice AI agent could solve a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah, fill a lot of gaps, knock down a lot of the roadblocks within the process. But then honestly, even just thinking like as employers, like we are, like a voice AI bot, you don't have to provide benefit. We're talking about bathroom breaks and stuff joking around, but you don't have to pay for benefits. You don't have to pay the payroll taxes. You don't have to worry about vacation time and paid time off. Like once this thing gets dialed in, you have a 24/7
yes,
lead gen, receptionist, sales team. Like, I don't even want to like call it an AI bot, but it's literally your own AI sales team, customer service team.
yes,
You know,
receptionists, customer support.
exactly.
You could even have a paid media buyer buy a course, train this AI bot to answer questions on paid media buying or advertising too.
Yeah, I mean, whatever your business is, whatever
Yeah.
you're selling, whatever your value add is, you can train this AI bot to learn exactly what you're doing and represent you in a very professional way.
Yep.
All right, cool. We hit our 20-minute mark, so we're going to sign off now. But stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more episodes coming up with voice AI, using the data, B2C, B2B. You know, we got all kinds of fun ideas in the pipeline here for future episodes. So stay tuned. We appreciate you watching today, and look forward to talking to everybody soon.
See ya.